Ici Raymond Saint-Pierre, bienvenue à Zone Doc. Si vous vivez dans une ville, il y a de bonnes chances que des rivières ou des ruisseaux coulent sous vos rues, sous vos parcs, sans que vous le sachiez. Depuis la nuit des temps, les villes se sont établies le long de cours d'eau. Avec le développement, l'industrialisation, on en est venu à recouvrir, à cacher ces rivières devenues égouts à ciel ouvert, des canaux pour des maladies mortelles comme le choléra. Il y a aujourd'hui un mouvement dans bien des villes à travers le monde pour qu'on redécouvre ces rivières, qu'on les libère et qu'on ramène un peu de nature dans le béton. Le documentaire que nous vous présentons suit des explorateurs urbains à Montréal, à Londres, à Yonkers, dans l'État de New York, et à Brescia, en Italie. Des aventuriers qui nous font prendre conscience de ces rivières urbaines perdues. On découvre aussi une expérience spectaculaire à Séoul, en Corée du Sud, où on a abattu une autoroute surélevée pour redonner vie à un cours d'eau oublié. Voici donc Rivières perdues de Caroline Bacle.
Nous avons bâti nos villes le long des rivières. Mais avec le temps, nous les avons repoussées, hors de notre vue, hors de nos pensées. Mais elles sont toujours là.
This is amazing! Oh my God, that's so cool!
Originally, this is all covered, so there's nothing.
Et à plusieurs endroits dans le monde, des citadins mènent une quête pour rétablir le lien avec elles.
When I first moved to Montreal, I was looking for something in the city that resonated with me. It seems like everything above ground is being documented in one way or another. Underground's a completely different story.
Tout le monde est au courant de ce que je fais, puis tout le monde adore ça. Là. Ils s'imaginent pas à quel point on n'est pas supposé faire ça.
People like the idea of buried rivers, the thought of water flowing underground. But it's not something that people necessarily think about seriously. It's really hard to grasp something that you can't see. The first projection shows an image of how most people would visualize a river or a creek. Then by the time you get to the last projection, you see everything is forced underground. Not a lot of people realize that there are close to 20 rivers buried under my city. I wanted to introduce that face of water in the city to the public, to get them to reflect on what's changed.
Pour comprendre l'histoire de ces rivières, nous devons remonter à l'origine de toutes les villes modernes. Nous avons établi nos villes près des rivières pour nous approvisionner en eau, pour alimenter nos moulins. Elles étaient notre source de vie. Mais la situation s'est compliquée avec la croissance des villes.
Ben, il y a 150 ans, on était en pleine révolution industrielle. Les campagnes se vidaient pour venir dans les villes. Ça a été le boom urbain. De plus en plus de monde, donc de plus en plus de déchets, donc de plus en plus... Bon, etc. Donc, il y avait une accumulation exponentielle, dans le fond, des problèmes. Il n'y avait pas encore d'égouts à ce moment-là, donc les choses sont devenues des égouts à ciel ouvert.
Ceci a engendré un énorme problème. Transmis par l'eau, le choléra tuait des milliers de citadins dans le monde, engendrant la panique. Les gens croyaient que la ville était devenue un endroit invivable. La seule solution pour eux était de confiner les rivières sous terre. Une solution inspirée par la plus grosse ville du monde à l'époque.
Right under London streets, there are rivers a few feet away. People think it's just the River Thames, but in fact there are 15 or 20 buried rivers. 2/3 of the tributaries within London are partly buried or completely buried. If you look down drain covers, you can actually see them in the distance flowing past. And you can hear them quite easily too. People are drawn to these rivers instinctively because there's something natural that's been hidden away.
Je fais partie d'un réseau de gens qui sont fascinés par les entrailles des villes. On nous appelle les drainers. Drainers, sewer people, underground people. C'est à l'international, ça. Je retourne régulièrement à Londres, puis c'est pas prêt d'arrêter. I don't want to kick you in the face.
I have had that happen to me. Someone trying to get out of the fleet really quickly and swung their leg around. Not just gave me a mouthful of sewage, which is nice.
This one is
About 1883.
Okay.
During the 19th century, London was growing like no city had ever grown before. It had to work out the systems that allow people to live so close together. The project was led by Joseph Bazalgette, who was a sewer pioneer. He saw the need for a system that would cater for the whole city, and he put it into action on an enormous scale. And that's why a lot of rivers are under our feet flowing through Victorian tunnels.
Where is Lizzie's palace? Buckingham Palace?
That way.
That way, okay.
I've always wanted to try and get a picture of that, but not gonna happen. Tree roots going all the way up there. To get that long, man. That's pretty long.
les autres villes industrielles se sont inspirées du système d'égout de Londres. Dorénavant, la plupart des rivières urbaines seraient enfouies. Mais aujourd'hui, ceci semble enfin être en train de changer.
Our river, which it goes right through town, is not there. It's underground. The joy of water and things that can actually really make a difference in people's lives haven't been there for a long time. This is important for Yonkers to turn us around.
In my almost 40 years of doing development, to have taken a project in my hometown where I was born and raised and make it much better than it was for the last over 90 years, that is like nothing else I've ever done.
I waited a long time for this, haven't we? I tell you, it's been fantastic. Look at this. Here we are, what, 4 or 5 years later?
Oh, 4 or 5 years later.
Making this
a lot
a reality.
A lot of time.
It's a great day. Can't make this stuff up, huh? Whoever thought it would be done.
La rivière Sawmill coule sur 30 km avant de s'écouler dans le fleuve Hudson. C'est la force de son courant à cette embouchure qui a attiré les colonisateurs et a donné naissance à Yonkers. À la fin du 19e siècle, la ville était en plein essor économique.
We had hat factories here, furniture manufacturing done in Yonkers, a lot of woodworking. We were a booming industrial town.
Then, lo and behold, we started changing the river, which happened all over this country in industrialized areas. The rivers were squashed and put in corners. Everybody thought this was a lousy little, stinky little river. So they put this cap on top of it in the 1920s. It's called a flume sometimes. Was buried, and we put a parking lot on it. We, really mucked around with this city.
As the industries grew and as labor costs grew, little by little, the businesses moved to other parts of the country where they could maintain their profit margins.
People have sort of been waiting for things to happen in the downtown. It's really hard to get people to invest for new things around a parking lot.
We're taking the Larkin Plaza parking lot, and we're creating, which I'll show over here, a park and opening up some of the water that's in the tunnel or the flume. We'll be taking that water out and making it into ponds and a recreation park adjacent to the area.
When I signed the lease 5 years ago, I was very nervous because I see all the boarded up buildings, all derelict buildings, abandoned buildings. This location would be a destination attraction site. It will bring in more people, it will bring in more residents, more business for merchants such as myself. So overall, it's a good thing, a positive thing for City of Yonkers. Excuse me for one moment. Sings Pizza, hello.
God created this river, and today man will begin the process of restoring it and daylighting it again after 90 years of being buried.
It can be a beautiful asset. It can be something that will attract people to our downtown. And that's exactly what this is going to be.
Just look up, don't throw. Yay!
Some people call it full circle. We're trying to re-mimic the things that work well in nature.
Dans le nord de l'Italie, au cœur des montagnes, se trouve une petite ville construite sur un incroyable réseau de rivières romaines.
This is the river, imperfectly oval.
Wow. Water is so clear.
So clear, yeah.
Dans cette ville, des drainers, devenus légendaires, attirent leurs semblables du monde entier.
Un des petits rêves de ma vie, c'est de rencontrer cette équipe-là de Bridge Underground parce qu'ils sont fascinants.
This is the main big map of the administrations of the rivers. This is the middle city, the park.
The city
center
was smaller, very smaller than today.
How many rivers passing through the center town?
Through the center, there's about 7 rivers. No.
Jeune, Andrea était si intrigué par les rivières enfouies sous sa ville qu'il a rassemblé des amis pour soulever les plaques d'égout et explorer ses cours d'eau. Ils étaient hors la loi, comme tous ceux qui font ce genre de choses.
Did you start young doing that?
Yeah, 20 years. I have 30 now.
Did you get in trouble?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, with police and others. Asking sometimes why you doing this, why you popping manuals.
There is a ratio of failure to interest.
Oh, yes.
Which is very in favor of failure.
Wow.
You win some and you lose some.
Yeah. In 2006, the administration see our works, the pictures about the underground, asking to us if it was possible to make the official association because they think is a right thing.
Seul Brescia Underground avait vraiment documenté les rivières enfouies sous leur ville. Du jour au lendemain, le groupe est passé d'une bande de voyous à une société historique reconnue.
It's like a mission for us, showing to everyone these places.
Certo, prego. Starci attento, ci impiega poco, Se lei aspetta un attimo, si siede proprio qui. Starci attento a mia moglie perché io ci tengo a mia moglie. Benissimo. Il letto, se guardate bene, è tutto formato da lastricati in pietra, in marmo, sempre d'epoca romana. Quindi questo ponte qui marmoreo è del 1400 circa, l'hanno gettato sul Bova Celato, che sono questi fiumi, per ampliare appunto questa chiesa.
e andiamo poi a visionare punti storici più belli. Da ponti romani, strutture medievali, antichi accessi per le concerie, gli opifici.
Moi, je suis presque jalouse de ce groupe-là parce qu'on rêverait tous de pouvoir avoir cette opportunité dans chaque ville. Tout ça pour revenir dans le passé, puis de la vie des gens, parce que sans les rivières, il n'y avait pas de vie. Tout a fonctionné autour de ces eaux-là.
Wow, se stai passando di lì.
Clinton? Tutti! Canada!
It's typical of this country, isn't it? It's because it's London and it's all based on rivers, and the rivers are pushing everything up, and the drains are overflooding because they're getting water from the top and water from the bottom. So we're really about to float away. Yeah, we are.
Le fait d'enfouir les rivières et de cimenter le paysage a mis les villes dans le pétrin. Le béton n'absorbe pas l'eau. Lors de fortes tempêtes, les égouts se remplissent vite et l'eau de pluie n'a nulle part où s'écouler. Le sud-est de Londres, construit dans une vallée, a toujours été propice aux inondations. Au cœur de cette partie de la ville coule la rivière Quaggy.
It flows underneath the buildings here, so this part of the river has been culverted probably 100 years or so.
Le quartier sert de laboratoire pour une toute nouvelle stratégie pour prévenir les inondations.
Taking away concrete sides, daylighting rivers, and actually creating areas for which floodwater could be stored.
Local people objected to a flood alleviation scheme that was planned for the River Quaggy that was going to put it into more and bigger concrete channels. We certainly wanted to have our properties protected from flooding, but we also wanted our river back.
Before the scheme, Sutcliffe Park was an ecological desert. The Quaggy has now been opened up. It's been transformed to a local nature reserve and a series of wetland habitats, quite rare in London.
Lors de pluies violentes, cette réserve naturelle devient une zone de retenue pour le surplus d'eau, jusqu'à ce qu'il puisse s'écouler sans risque sous les rues de la ville. Ils appellent ça une stratégie sans regret. Les scientifiques ne peuvent prédire si elle suffira pour gérer les effets des changements climatiques de demain. Mais aujourd'hui, les résidents se réjouissent de la métamorphose.
As a consequence of the Sutcliffe Park, there's been a growing head of steam from different communities to say, why can't our river be like this? Which is fantastic.
Les égouts en ce moment ne suffisent pas. On a énormément de problèmes d'inondation et qui vont augmenter. Et c'est là où les parcs, les espaces verts deviennent des éponges qui peuvent venir absorber l'eau plutôt que de l'envoyer dans des égouts qui ne suffisent pas et que ça coûterait vraiment trop cher d'avoir à refaire.
Étrangement, certaines villes, comme Montréal, ne voient pas le grand potentiel de ces rivières enfouies pour gérer les inondations et améliorer la ville.
La ville de Montréal a été développée au 19e siècle, la ville industrielle. Les Québécois ici sont des gens qui sont venus travailler dans les usines. Et leur relation à la ville n'est pas une relation très proactive, plutôt assez négative même. Et il y a toujours la vieille idée que les ruisseaux étaient des égouts à ciel ouvert, donc laissons ça en dessous.
Dans les années 1990, l'égout de la rivière Saint-Pierre inondait sans cesse le canal La Chine. Pour retenir le surplus d'eau, la ville a suivi la philosophie d'ingénierie du 19e siècle. Elle a bâti un énorme bassin de rétention sous terre.
C'était une zone industrielle. On a exproprié ça pour faire ce bassin de rétention.
Ouais.
Et on en a profité pour aménager un parc qui était assez joli.
Moi, quand j'ai vu ça la première fois, je me suis dit, ils ont peut-être ramené à la surface la rivière. Mais non, c'est entièrement cosmétique.
Et ça rappelle tout simplement la rivière. Mais ça n'est pas le tracé de la rivière.
Non.
Parce que la rivière était seulement beaucoup plus large que ça à cette époque-là.
Ce que j'imagine en tant qu'architecte paysagiste, ça serait de ramener certainement à la surface la rivière. Ça pourrait être fait. On pourrait même imaginer qu'il y ait une partie qui soit beaucoup plus large et qui soit une zone humide. Dans des situations de pluie, on fait un bassin de rétention, mais un bassin de rétention qui est planté. Mais on peut avoir une zone de biodiversité absolument extraordinaire. C'est dommage qu'il n'y a pas de projet au niveau des arrondissements ou de la ville-centre pour remettre en lumière des ruisseaux.
Absolument.
L'argumentaire pour ne pas faire quelque chose, c'est que ça va coûter trop cher. Mais en fait, on se rend compte que les aménagements paysagers sont beaucoup moins chers que de faire des fosses en béton en sous-sol. C'est pas la réelle raison. C'est vraiment qu'on veut pas faire quelque chose de nouveau parce qu'il y a des risques. Et puis généralement, les gens, surtout les municipalités, n'aiment pas le risque. Quand on ne sait pas ce qui a été fait ailleurs, on continue à faire ce qu'on a toujours fait.
In the old days, we have some Oriental kind of location theory. We call it feng shui. In order to have a nice house, you got to have a mountain backside and water in the front. So when the founding fathers comes to Seoul to determine the location of the palace, they went up to the mountain and see which is the best location. They found the river here. So this is the best location to situate the palace. So this is the story of the Chang'e Stream.
아니, 선생님. 청계천 지가 우리가 6년이 됐으면 애기 낳아서 키워도 6살이고 7살. 이런 것도 죽고 막 그래야지. 복귀하기 이전에는 한자촌. 그렇게 가고 그냥 연탄재니 그냥 대소변 그냥 거기다 그냥 밑으로다 다 흘려서 그냥 청계천으로 내려가게끔 막 말도 못하게 지저분했죠.
After the Korean War, a lot of refugees from the North Korea, they flooded around this area. All the sewers right
throughout to the stream. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. Wasn't quite a pleasant place to visit.
Dans les années 1960, la Corée du Sud a adopté l'automobile. Avide de nouvelles routes, la ville a recouvert le ruisseau Cheonggyecheon, symbole de pauvreté et de saleté. Une autoroute superposée à 16 voies serait le nouvel emblème de Séoul.
Elevated highway picture always comes out of the cinema. This is the symbol of our modernization, symbol of our development. In the beginning, it really helped smooth the traffic in the downtown, but later on, it became a very big barrier to get to the downtown.
Au fil du temps, les nouvelles voies se sont remplies et la circulation a continué d'augmenter. Le symbole de la modernité de la Corée du Sud est devenu une grosse nuisance. En 1991, l'idée d'un changement majeur a pris la forme d'un autre projet de construction. Mais celui-là allait être complètement différent.
It started with a historian and an engineer.
Engineer is he.
Professor Lee Hee-dog, he was professor in my university, history department. And he asked me whether the Cheonggyecheon could be restored. I told him that technically it's feasible.
L'autoroute avait été l'œuvre de l'entreprise de construction Hyundai. En 2002, c'est l'ancien directeur de cette compagnie, Lee Myung-bak, qui a fait de sa démolition le point central de sa campagne à la mairie de Séoul. Et il a gagné.
선진국으로 진입하면서 거기에 대한 반성, 그래서 이제는 도시를 친환경적으로 또 인간 중심적으로 그렇게 바꿔야지 선진국으로 들어갈 수 있고 또 그게 도시의 경쟁력을 높이는 효과를 가져올 수 있다.
Nobody would believe that demolishing the structure, traffic can flow.
Well, he did.
Problem can be solved by the people, not by the traffic engineers or planners, because the citizens, they are smart enough to adjust to the change. We introduced bus rapid transit. 9% of people who used to drive cars shifted to subways and adjust their travel routes and adjust their time of day. All this leads to not so severe traffic turmoil in the downtown.
People living in the downtown area, we have a right to enjoy environment, ecosystems, just 5-minute walk from where you are. It's really amazing how fast the nature adjusts by itself.
You gained weight since the last time you were in this thing.
I know.
You're gonna weigh that thing down the bucket.
Yeah. And I could be happy spending my days on the river that flows both ways.
So how long have you been doing this?
October
70.
21st, right, 1984. I think that was the break in, might have been the first day.
This was in an adventure phase.
Okay, couple more strokes and you gotta make a left.
Any river that nobody else had paddled in those days, you know, we gave it a shot.
There you go. That must be the Sawmill Creek. All right.
The idea of canoeing underground was pretty fascinating.
It's right here, and I highlighted it in this paragraph where it specifically mentions just what it could be. And then it took 33 years to respond.
Wow, 1977.
Boy, it stinks here.
I know.
Daylighting the sawmill. It's almost unbelievable. For so many years that we talked about it, it's a pat on the back for the dreamers from the early days.
Right now, we're pumping down that water.
That's the head wall?
Yeah, we have 2 pumps there pumping down that. That's going to be the head wall where those piles are.
That's my man.
Yonkers did a real gutsy thing. They have some federal dollars here, they have some state money here, but they committed millions of dollars of future tax revenue to this project. It's a really critical project. We asked the city, listen, we can fund a habitat plan to make sure that the fish come up. The point at which I need to bring the eel passage engineer down if we bring him from New Hampshire, when would that be?
A couple of months down the road, probably in October, November.
We got to form the footings on both sides, pour the walls.
But there's your flume right there. It's fully exposed now.
I know. I think that's
It's been underground now 91 years. I think it's in pretty good shape, huh, Leo?
Pretty good shape.
And no graffiti.
They buried it too quickly.
That's right.
When people own things, they take care of them. We want people to own this river. So gather around the table. I don't know how many people are going to show.
I'm a great believer in the power of activities to revitalize a downtown. You give the neighborhood exposure, and you also help the property owners and the merchants, local merchants, understand that we're trying to get people down there for them.
Having a gospel fest or something like this that will bring folks down who aren't coming at this point.
Things that have a little more of a historic bent, you know, children's activities. And somehow that could link to something else going in the park. Right.
Very early on, we had a lot of discussion about the merchants. As we got closer to being done with this, they've just been completely neglected. I think we're going to defeat the whole purpose if we're going to talk about downtown revitalization.
My sales have dropped 50%. The construction, approximately 7 months, with continuous blocking of the sidewalk, double wire mesh fence right here. It's very difficult for people to come into my store. Yeah, we're hoping to come in. If I project this out for another 6 months, I would definitely be losing about $350,000. all the merchants around here are exactly the same. Either hold on to your business no matter what, or pack it in and move out.
This is the lakes.
Yes.
This is the lakes in the north sides of the lodges.
You're
And
excavating.
we
you're
believe at the moment,
Yes.
The surface level has increased because of dirt.
We think surely if it's still again in the underground, but below the mud about 1 meter.
Parce qu'il a disparu de la surface de la ville, un lac alimentant un lavoir médiéval est devenu une légende à Brescia. Il a été recouvert, puis asséché, et il n'existe pratiquement aucune trace de son existence. La bande de Brescia Underground l'a retrouvé. Du moins, c'est ce qu'elle pense.
There is a little traffic jam. People stuck.
Perché preparano le telecamere? No, porta fuori. Sì, porta fuori io.
Alors, ce qu'on cherche, c'est dans le lac, entouré de maisons, en fait. Il y avait une grande plateforme où est-ce que les dames allaient laver le linge. Donc, on cherche ce lit-là de pierre.
We find the platform. We want to ask the measure if it is possible to uncover that area. I think it's a nice idea to reopen it. This for the city too, not just for the administration or for the measure, but for the city.
Io non so mai. Devo venire un giorno anch'io.
Assolutamente, beh sì. Mi sa che ti tocca anche a te.
Mi è incuriosito adesso.
Prima o dopo. No, poi stiamo sviluppando molto bene le cose anche con gli altri, c'è una cosa fatta bene, proprio. Esatto.
Il laghetto tutto qua.
Il laghetto sarebbe questa porzione qua, dall'albero qui all'incirca a questo
molo?
albero.
Dove sarebbe?
Il molo lo stiamo cercando, dovrebbe essere tutto qua sotto, qua.
Bello,
perfetto,
me lo fai vedere allora.
Assolutamente, sì. Adesso cerchiamo di finire un po' qua i lavori e poi.
Com'è?
Boh. Cazzo, qua stiamo andando nell'epoca del ferro, figa, scavare così, no? È possibile che abbiano tolto il molo lì? Che cazzo glielo fa fare nel 1800 uno di togliere 5.000 pietre bianche che pesano 2 tonnellate l'una e poi metterle dove? In un deposito, così.
This whole area is the old flume, and we're punching a hole through here, gonna lift these off, and then the water will then flow into the new river path.
That's a good
90
phrase.
years ago since this has been in there. Yeah. 90 years.
Tell Linda come back. She's got to see this. All right, fine. You got to see this.
At the same time, everybody. 1, 2, 3.
Here they are.
You found one. Okay.
Right
Great.
here. You have to get beyond the reflection.
Wow.
He's huge.
Wow.
Right? Well, there's schools of them in
Look
here.
at him right there. Oh, he's
I don't
slow.
have my.
That came up the ladder. Wow.
This used to be, besides what it is now, a parking lot. So this is what we've done to the parking over here. We now have a, how many story?
6-story,
6-story
300
parking
car.
garage, which seems a lot better use for that space. And this is a much better use for this space.
There are plans underway to put residential along this entire block. They're looking at restaurants. They're looking at second-story overlooks into this stream.
Now that I can see the river, the future, I believe, is bright. I am hanging on because the project is almost finished, and I am hoping that the 300-car garage 1 block away will open soon. I'm hoping that we would get back to sales level that I used to have. If it's greater, I mean, I would be overjoyed. At this point, having lost so much money.
Really? So we're gonna use these nets, and we're gonna see if we can catch some of the little babies, the little fish nurseries that are over here.
I would also try just lifting up some small rocks and stuff too,
Definitely.
because we've been finding some stuff that way.
First catch. Now we know that's where they come from, that they're obviously being born here, and so it's really cool.
Wait a minute, did I catch another one? Yep.
Kiss him. You got it? No. Come on, come on. Oh.
Well, it shows that we actually built a totally new river. It has living things in it, and they seem to be thriving.
It's a crayfish.
I don't know how they found it. They were way up in the
Do you
back.
want to touch it? Okay.
You can. I mean, the claws are so tiny.
I think nature is going to revitalize Yonkers. The power of nature actually will generate the power of people in this area. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Maintenant, on a plus de 50% de la population mondiale qui vit en ville. Je pense que c'est ce qui va nous permettre de relever le défi écologique planétaire. C'est les villes. C'est plus vrai que la nature, ça se passe ailleurs que dans la ville. On est naturellement attiré par l'eau. Hein.
Ben oui, l'eau, c'est la mer.
La mer.
Absolument.
isn't just about remembering the creek that's gone. It's also about reminding ourselves and our community that the river is still flowing here underground. And if you press your face to the lid, look closely, you can actually see the water flowing by.
Yeah, you can see it.
Check and see it.
70–80% of the young people live in urban environments. If we have no urban environment for them to touch or to feel or to get excited about, where are we going to get our scientists and our ecologists and the engineers who think about the environment? Where are we going to find them?
Nous nous sommes toujours rassemblés le long des cours d'eau. Peut-être que les villes du futur se rattacheront à leurs berges une fois de plus. Et que nous nous retournerons vers la nature que nous avons cachée.
Whenever we do construction, we forget about the previous pictures. But this is a very big mistake we made, covering up the stream. So that I think we have to really give our education to our descendants, not to make same mistake twice.
Voilà, c'était Zone Doc. Merci d'avoir été là. À la prochaine.